for 1,000 years. Loved for 1,000 years. All right, AOA podcast. Welcome in, everybody. Special Friday show. Nice to see all of you here. It's nice that I'm a little out of focus. There we go. I got to make sure you see my ugly face as in focus as possible. Can't have you being like, why is that ugly guy so blurry? Epstein file glitch is our top story as Pam Bondi comments on the lovely, alleged, and elusive Epstein Files for the first time in quite a while. So we'll be discussing that on this episode, along with Timothy Busfield, new allegations, and him getting dropped from his talent agency. It's the latest there with Timothy Busfield. A lot of people seem to care about that. I don't know how many people are going to care about story number 3. Canada is opening up their country to more Chinese electronic vehicles. I'll tell you why I think that's interesting. Got a couple of feuds going on in Hollywood. A$AP Rocky versus Drake, J-Law versus Margot Robbie, and the latest on ice in Minnesota and this Minneapolis pizza place is an insane twist in this never-ending saga of ice in Minnesota. All that and a couple more little fun things rolled up into this nice little ball of wax we call a podcast. All right, thanks to everybody who is watching live with us, everybody who's on the live chat, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. We are on Instagram Live. If you think that this is too much wideness and you want to watch us like this, go to Instagram. That's where we are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as everybody who's in the live chat knows, 8:30 means 8:45 at least. Merc, Mastermind, Christella, Mattio B, Robin's in the house. Hello to everybody who is here with us this evening. Good to have Miss Justison as well. I'm glad the moderators are here. I feel like we got some responsible adults on this podcast because there's none on screen. That's for damn sure. Okay, let's get to the story that is the most important, that also made me laugh the hardest. Pam Bondi coming out earlier today and acknowledging that there have been glitches in the Epstein files. Glitches. So suddenly defying the law can now be termed a glitch, which is absolutely amazing. I remember Diddy's recent glitch that found him in prison. There's tons of famous glitches in the past. Remember when the great Martha Stewart had her little tax glitch or stock glitch? Yeah. No, I'm not breaking the law. It's just a glitch. She literally went to Congress, wrote Congress a letter, and was like, we have to restart our computer. You see, it's not that we're protecting pedophiles or just doing whatever our president says, in essence, protecting pedophiles. You would have had the files, except that little spinning wheel is just on the screen. And we got to wait for it to go because we can't do any. We went to go export. We said Epstein Files, file, export, and then the little spinning wheel of death came up. And, that's the glitch we're having. By glitch, she actually means that they physically cannot get all the files out in time. So the update that she provided to a group of federal judges in a letter was basically like, we've added 500 more lawyers. There's actually millions of pages. And we can't give you an estimate on when it's going to come out, but we're doing our best. So don't act like we're breaking the law. Just act like we're a little late with our homework assignment. I don't know, 500 more like if you have, I don't know, run the thing through AI and just put it out already. Can't you just upload it to ChatGPT and say, protect the victims and put the rest out. I mean, it's not any less responsible than how you already released the first batch of files, which, by the way, is less than 2% of all the files that exist. Top story in 5 minutes. I mean, was that unbelievable or what? That was very concise and well done. I have to say, I'm very impressed with me so far. It's early in the podcast, but I'm feeling pretty good about my performance so far. You know, I love from Mastermind. Funny how that makes like rings. Yeah, it's true. You know what's weird? I saw this video. Somebody was on. Was it the guy who wrote Pulp Fiction was on Joe Rogan? I saw a clip and he was talking about Stanley Kubrick and Eyes Wide Shut. And he had this theory that the studio recut the movie on Kubrick. They didn't put out his version, and he was very upset about it, and that there were eyewitnesses who heard him screaming over it, and that you can see like remnants of what Kubrick was trying to say, which is basically like the world is run by an Illuminati of pedophilia. You know, that's basically what's running the whole planet. And it's hard to argue with that right now. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to argue with that right now. Am I glitching in and out? Oh, I'm so sorry. I could be, you know, we are talking about the government. So there's that. There's a lot of bad government talk. I apologize. This is all Epstein file related. It's not my glitches. It's the Epstein file glitches. There's that spinning wheel of death. Thank you, Miss Justice. Boy, I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties here, but, you know, I'm going to go ahead and blame Verizon, if I had to be totally honest with you. It's either Verizon, the Epstein files, and the government, or if I'm going to take a page out of Candace Owens's book, Jewish people, the Egyptians. I forget what she's blaming things on nowadays. I can't even read the stupid Candace Owens clips anymore. They're so outrageous. I can't even give her like 4 minutes anymore. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so Kubrick made the movie, and that to expose the pedophilia Illuminati ring that's running the world. And the co-writer for Pulp, I think it was Pulp Fiction, he was saying that you can see remnants of what Kubrick was going for, that there's apparently two guys in Eyes Wide Shut that are background like the whole entire time. Like, I guess this is a recognizable thing. I mean, I've seen that movie once or twice. I think I watched that movie 3 times. And every time I watched that movie, like I watched it the first time and I was like, this is very weird. This is weird from me going into a Kubrick film, expecting weird and going, this is weird. That was the first time. And then I watched it again because I was like, really? Was it that weird? What was that really about? And then I watched it the second time and I still didn't get it. And then like 7 years went by and I was like, was I just stupid back 7 years ago, or should I watch it again? And I watched it again and I was like, no, I'm the same level of intelligence. I just don't get this movie. You know, I just don't get the whole point of this movie. And that Tom Cruise, I guess a young girl dies and Tom Cruise goes and visits her in a morgue or something is what he was. I don't even remember half this stuff. But anyway, the chilling part was these two guys are in the background for like these crazy scenes. They're in the big sex orgy scenes and all this kind of stuff. And then in the last scene of the film, which I didn't even remember, Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes part 1. What was her name? I forget. The blonde Katie Holmes. The husband and wife, they're walking in the store and their daughter's with them and they don't take their eyes off their daughter until like the very last second. They were in a toy store and the very last second they take their eyes off their daughter and the two guys you can see in the background and they're kind of walking away. And then the little girl starts going with them. And this guy's theory was that they were giving their child to the Illuminati. They were giving their child over to the ring, which is like, that's insane. Like, is that, but it's also at the same time not far-fetched enough for Stanley Kubrick, which really makes me wonder if that was true. And it was like the co-writer of Pulp Fiction. Thank you, everybody who put in Katie Holmes Part 1's name. That's really, thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. What's up with Nicole Kidman's father, Christella? Tell us. I don't have time to, I can't look it up. I know I'm poorly doing it, but I'm doing it, doing a show here. I can't wait to find out about Nicole Kidman's father. But this is like insane. I don't know when this episode was, but the co-writer Tarantino was there, and Tarantino was like the whole time was just like, yeah. He's just like backing everything up. Like it was totally true, A woman was murdered, payment for Cruz's actions. Oh, that payment to keep alive. Was that it? Thank you, Krista. Don't even bother explaining. I can't even, that movie. I'll never watch that movie again. I can't. Even with this new thing, I wasn't going to watch it anyway, but still, I can't watch it now. I don't know what's happening with the whole thing. And I don't want to watch that kind of stuff. That's just that stuff was, I watched Eyes Wide Shut the whole time, freaked the fuck out. I'm like, is this really how people are? Because I lived in New York City. I lived in New York City. I worked in Manhattan, and like I would see people do there was weird stuff. I don't want to know I'm not an underworld guy. I'm not an underworld guy. I can't be a part of it. I have verbal diarrhea. I like to tell everybody everything. So don't invite me to underworld Masonic orgy activities. I don't want to be a part of it. If you got an underground card game going out, Texas Hold, I'll do that. I'll keep my mouth shut about that. But everything else, not going to happen. Not going to be able to do it. Timothy Busfield. I feel a little weird about this. Not too weird because, as the day changes and the news cycle flips, we learn new information. But last time we spoke, Busfield surrendered himself in New Mexico. Albuquerque police took him in custody. He submitted to a lie detector test. He passed with flying colors. His lawyer was very happy to tell everybody that. And it seemed like, maybe this guy was wrongfully accused, which is what we were talking about on the last podcast episode. Then go to find out that his talent agency dropped him. And I'm like, okay, kind of boilerplate, maybe, whatever. As new allegations came out, that a 16-year-old girl accused him of inappropriate behavior years ago, like over a decade ago, I think. And it was like the camel. And I said there was one thing in his past, so this has been buzzing around him a little bit, but nothing's ever really come to fruition. So when he went in and made those moves, I was like, maybe this guy is really innocent. And that doesn't mean that this allegation is true or not. Like one doesn't have an impact on another, although unless you're like looking at patterns. But this one was I'll tell you what weirded me out about this one, which makes me pull back on the fact that maybe Timothy Busfield has some problems. The incident occurred at like a little theater, I think in Sacramento or San Diego or something like that, somewhere in California. It was like a little theater group in California, and the alleged incident happened there. And it never got reported after that, but it got reported to the theater. It didn't go to the authorities, but it went to the theater, and the theater refused to do anything with Timothy Busfield since that moment. Like they did an investigation and they agreed to not have him back in the theater. And I'll tell you why it really weirds me out, because through my time in radio and everything here in New York and Long Island and Hamptons, there's a lot of like really great theaters in the Hamptons. There's like 5. Literally, like there's 5 like amazing theaters in the Hamptons that do shows, concerts, theater plays, stand-up comedy. They all do an amazing job. Some a little better than others, but they're all great. And we're like blessed because it's such a small area. Like a town the size of the towns that I live in and live near would never have theaters. Maybe there'd be 1. We have 5. And the reason is because summertime, everybody from Manhattan, the city, comes out here. That's why. But they operate all year long, some of these theaters. And some of these theaters have like amazing connections, like to Jerry Seinfeld and big actors. Like there's like Alec Baldwin, like, you know, they keep these theaters like alive, you know, and I've worked closely with a lot of the theaters, and they all say the same thing. Like, it's all star power. If they don't have these big names bringing in this, all this attention, you know, they're not selling tickets. They're not getting press. They're not, you know, making a business out of this. And so many of them are non-for-profit because it's hard to make a business anyway. But anyway, these little theaters live and die by these celebrity affiliations. So for a little theater in San Diego to just be like, we can't be a part of this guy anymore, that's really bad. You know, I think that's a sign that that's really, really bad, because those little theaters, again, live and die by their affiliations with big actors and names, and they're not going to just give that up for nothing. You know, they're not going to just give that up for nothing. I mean, you're talking about a lot of money. And again, like I said, a lot of them are nonprofits, but they put on like after school programs, or, you know, like camps for kids, acting school camps, stuff like that. Like they all do great work in the community. So I'm a little weary of the Timothy Busfield stuff. We'll see where it goes from here. The other day I was feeling good. I was like, oh, I don't have to think Timothy Busfield's a bad person. This is going to be great. And now here we are 48 hours later. And I'm like, yeah, maybe Timothy Busfield sucks. Maybe he sucks. I didn't see this coming. I thought this was interesting. Little world news here. Let's get a little worldly. I was trying to class up this episode. I ordered a classy beverage. I believe it's on the way. I don't know if it's going to get here anytime soon. But, you know, I'm like, this is a fancy, we're going to talk world news. Excuse you. Thank you very much. I'm going to put on my nice hoodie then. I'm going to put on my expensive Islanders hoodie and not my, you know, $20 Under Armour hoodie. You know, we're going to talk world news. We're going to order a fancy cocktail. We're not going to be sitting here drinking Bud Light or Coors Light. You know, we got world news items. So let's get a little fancy. Let's talk a little world news. The Canadian Prime Minister announced that it's going to slash its 100% import tax on Chinese electric vehicles to 6.1%. creating a major opening for the Chinese automakers in Canada. TechCrunch notes that this gives companies like Geely, BYD, Xiaomi, and others a stronger North American foothold, even if the U.S. market remains restricted, which it does. We do not allow Chinese company EVs into this country. And it's a pretty interesting, I mean, obviously it would crush, well, first of all, it would kill Elon, because they're doing a little bit of a better job in the economics department than Elon Musk is. They're selling cars that are just as good or perhaps better, and they're cheaper. So it would kill Elon. Not only would it kill Elon, though, but it would probably kill Ford and GM and all the rest of them too. You know, both gas and their electric divisions. But this is an interesting thing. The other reason why we don't allow Chinese electric vehicles in is because they're too technologically advanced, and it's a national security concern. Meaning, which I find interesting, because like every phone is not made in America. Like, I don't even know where isn't the iPhone made in China? So there's plenty of devices that are coming from China that could be recording us, but they're concerned about the electric vehicles. So that's part of it. If that's true or not, I don't know. You decide. But I mean, I could see some validity to it. I could also see some validity to our country going, well, we can't lose the auto industry. You know, so there's that part of it. But Canada, with this move, is going to allow up to 49,000 vehicles into Chinese electronic vehicles into Canada. That could go up to 70,000 in the next 5 years. So that's a big move. And what I find really, so Canada really didn't have it. Now they're going to have it. The United States doesn't have it, but now it's going to be across the border. You know, you've seen some of them, like you've seen some of these cars, if somebody like imports it the right way or sneaks it in, or I've seen like one or two of these in the United States. but they haven't been sold. But now if they're being sold in Toronto, just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Buffalo. Like if you live in Buffalo, you're not going to hop in the car and go buy the cheaper EV up in Canada. Like this is the beginning of it. And I don't know if it was the administration or just officials or Trump himself, but they were like, this is bad. They're like, we don't agree with this. They're none too pleased with it. They're none too pleased with it. But I've seen, like, again, I'm a little bit of a tech nerd, so I see, and a little bit of a car nerd. And so I get like TikToks, like, because like car influencers that I watch here, like they go over there and they show them these cars where they're available, and they're amazing. Some of these cars that are coming out are ridiculous. It makes you not want to drive. Like if you have a car that's not made like last year, you look at these cars and you're like, my car sucks compared to this thing. It's like really some of the technological advances they're putting in these cars are just amazing. And then they're cheap too. Like it's crazy. Like I have 2 kids, typical family of 4. We have family to take care of sometimes. That's 6 people. We need like a 6 people vehicle. Those fucking cars are expensive. And if you're telling me I could save like 20, 25 grand and save money on gas too, What? I don't even want to tell. I would be like, let's forget worried about national security. Let's just give ourselves over to China. It's fine. Who need freedom of speech? Whatever. I need to save 25 grand on my car, people. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's a little bit of an overreaction. But I find it really interesting that this move was pulled off by Canada, because I was like, they know it's going to piss off America, but they did it. I mean, it was a strategic move for them. They sell canola. I don't know. Is that canola oil? I didn't even bother to look it up, but they're like, China could really buy a lot of Canadian canola. I was distracted, to be fair. When I heard canola, I thought he said cannolis. And I was like, are you trying to tell me that you make a better cannoli than we make in Brooklyn? Because I don't fucking think so. Don't act like, we can make me sell some more cannolis to China when they can, China should pay. I'd pay 100% tariff on a cannoli if I can get it from Brooklyn over Canada. Not that I don't love the Canadians, but I don't know how you guys are with a cannoli. And that's a delicate ricotta to powdered sugar ratio we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be too sweet, and you got to have that crunch of the cookie. You want to dip a little bit of it in chocolate? Sure. Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. Little chocolate chips on the end? Absolutely. Let's have a party. Not big on the pistachios, though, even though I know that's a really big Italian thing. Thank you, Mercury. And I always love the point to back it up. Canada does not have, this is false. Don't believe this person. Don't believe lead balloon. It's false. Have you ever met somebody that doesn't like a cannoli? Don't trust those people. I'll tell you what. Anybody who goes, you know what, I don't really like a cannoli, they need to have their hard drive examined, because I think they got some pornography on there they shouldn't have. I think there's just something wrong with those people. I'm not saying there's a link between every pedo and cannoli haters, but I'm pretty sure every cannoli hater is a pedo. I'd be happy to go out on that limb with you guys right now. I can't have that. Who doesn't love a fucking cannoli? It's the greatest thing ever. It's the greatest thing ever. Although I do struggle sometimes. Some fancy people, bakery people, are starting to put cannolis in donuts, and that's also fantastic. It's fantastic. You don't have the crunch, but it's delightful. It's an absolute delight. All right, now that we, here we go. Look at this. Just perfect timing. We're doing our world news segment, because we're worldly. Oh, this looks dirty. Thank you very much. It's quite fancy. It's supposed to have ice cubes in it. It's a classic. Okay. I don't think it's supposed to have ice cubes, but okay. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you very much, Cuddles, delivering the martini. I've had martinis before. I think I've had like sips, but I've never really enjoyed. Will this even disappear from frame? No, it will not. Okay. This will forever go down as the martini episode then, because I can't get this out of the frame. That is one hell. That's one hell of a stem right there. Is it supposed to be? I'm not a gin guy. I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I want to feel classy. I wanted to do the classy thing for everybody here. Oh, I need a water too. It's another thing that disgusts me greatly. You know, they don't tell you when you get old, you can drink, but you have to order a water with it. Nothing says you're a 55-year-old. Then can I have a water with that cocktail, please? Make sure to give me a water with that cocktail. All right. I don't know what's going on with the Verizon in my area, but we've made a lot of enemies on this show. I think that's why the glitches. But anyway, if you're just joining us, and not that I'm singling you out, Bird, but I'm being fancy, and I've ordered a martini for this special Friday episode with a water chaser. Thanks, Miss Justice. All right, let me taste this. This is a Cuddles martini. A cuddle-tini, if you will. It's interesting. Can I get that water? Yeah, I don't know if I can. That's a lot. That's dirty. That's a dirty lady. Third sip was better than the first. I'm not going to lie to you. It doesn't have pickle juice in it, Miss Justice. It has olive juice. I was told olive juice, and it has blue cheese olives in it. I don't know if you can see the blue cheese olives right there, but it's very much a green martini. I think it's supposed to be a little clearer than that. What's this comment here? No Frankie C. Oh, shit. I forgot to tell him. Oh, damn it. No, Frankie C had a last minute emergency. Everything is fine. He had to get me cannolis from Brooklyn. That's why he couldn't make it here. Miss Justice, like, you don't like olives? Oh, I love an olive. I love an olive. It's good. It's very dirty. Yeah. I don't know if it's supposed to be this dirty.
I love it. Hudson River dirty.
Hudson River dirty. There you go. This is more like East River. I'm not going to lie to you. It's even worse than the Hudson. People put potatoes in a martini. I'll tell you what, I'm enjoying the shit out of it now. 6 sips in, and I'm loving life here. All right, good job. All right, now that we've done our world news, suck on that, MSNBC or CNBC. Sorry, I would have been happier if I nailed that on the first try. Let's move over to the gossipy stuff. You know me, I'm the foremost authority in hip hop. So gather around, kids. If you want to know what's going down, if you want to know what's happening on the streets, in the gutters, in the trenches, if you will, in the hip hop world. That's my impression of Frank doing his impression of Shane Gillis. It's me. A$AP Rocky is now beefing in an argument with, those of you who are not up in the vernacular, Drake, which is unbelievable because the other guy, can't remember his name, who did the Super Bowl show last year or 3 years ago, time means nothing. He was insulting Drake, remember? The They Not Like Us guy. That guy is really good. Isn't it hilarious how after I said I was an expert, I can't remember the third rapper I'm talking about in the story? They Not Like Us. I like that guy, though. It'll come to me. I think I picked him for like best album one year, or came close to it. No, it's not 50 Cent, Christella. Come on now. The guy who did the Super Bowl halftime show last year. No, not Dr. Dre. Oh my God. I might be the coolest person as far as hip hop goes. And okay, there we go. Thank God. Here's the coolest person. Robin. Kendrick Lamar. Thank you. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar. The Weeknd. You guys. Robin, you may be the foremost authority on hip hop as far as the whole AOA crew goes. We just are not. I'm taking a backseat to you, my friend, and everybody else is way behind me by what it seems. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar is good, but he doesn't like Drake. I'm starting to think that Drake's maybe a dick. Is anybody else getting that? Like, why is everybody so pissed at Drake? Is it because he's from Canada and they're trying to corner the cannoli market? Do you think that has anything to do with it? So I'm not sure. Robin has cred. Robin's got street cred. Robin's got some street cred going on. I also like this from Bird, who says, I get all my haps in the hip hops from Ant. That's gonna be our shirt. That's gonna be my Anthony hip hop expert shirt. It's gonna be like, get all the haps in the hip hops from Ant. That's a shit. Thank you, Bird. I got news for you. You got 10% of all t-shirt sales coming your way, my friend. That's what you get. That's what we like to call in the biz royalties, my friend. We're gonna put that on sale. You're gonna get You're gonna get 10 points coming back your way for every shirt we sell. So if you're lucky, you'll have about 20 bucks to, or I should say, if you're lucky, you'll have about $2 to go get a stick of gum. Maybe we'll get you a nice new fresh box of Tic Tacs with your proceeds. Oh, 10 point. Yeah, Lindy, I'm generous. I'm a generous guy. I like when people call percentage points. That's a big movie thing. You don't get 2% of the back end. You get 2 points on the film. You know what I'm saying? That's what the cool movie insiders say when they're sipping their dirty martinis at the lunch at the Brown Derby. Is that still a thing? I don't know. I only know the Brown Derby because it's in Disney World. Anyway, A$AP Rocky has got a problem with Drake. He apparently does not like him and put it in his new song that's called, I'm sorry, hold on, back that up. We'll retake that. We'll edit that out. In his new track called Stole Ya Flow. Stole Ya Flow. And it's from his album Don't Be Dumb, which is amazing because I never knew somebody would name a hip hop album after the phrase my father said to me most between the ages of 3 and 27. To be honest, it was merely 38. But yeah, my dad used to say, don't be dumb. And I never thought to myself, I'm going to make that a hip hop album one day, Dad. And I'm going to show you and also take down Drake at the same time. It's going to be amazing. Be honest, how pretentious and stupid do I look sipping a martini? Is it as dumb as I feel? Because that's going to be high. That's going to be also up there. Is the Brown Derby a rusty trombone? I'm not sure, dude. I don't know. That's all in that underground world that I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about it. Welcome back, Fly and Y, to the AOA podcast memberships. I know you're not a new member. That must be some sort of a clerical error. You've been with us for quite some time, and we appreciate you, my friend. Look how excited everybody is to see you. That's amazing. Dad said, don't be an idiot. Changed my life. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it great parental advice when they get down to, then they just sit you down and you think you're about to have this heart-filled moment and they're like, can you stop being so stupid? You know, or other things like, you can't possibly be this stupid, can you? Those are the real heartfelt moments. To be fair, not to defend my father, but to be fair, most of those comments came from when I went cold at the racetrack and I couldn't pick winners anymore. Prior to that, we were best pals. You know, when those horses were coming in, we were friends. And all of a sudden, it's a little harder to pick those winners. And suddenly you're an idiot. Well, it's like, you know, sorry, I can't. I'm 7. I can't read the racing form. Sorry, Dad. Good martini, though. Anyway, where was I? A lot of stuff is coming out on the Friday. I think it's the martini. A$AP Rocky and Drake do not like each other. Well, I guess A$AP Rocky doesn't like Drake. I'm not sure how Drake feels about A$AP Rocky. But the track says that Drake stole A$AP Rocky's flow. In other words, his musical style. And A$AP Rocky is saying, well, I stole Rihanna, so take that. Which is interesting. I guess Rihanna and Drake were together. According to my research, it was never fully confirmed, but they were linked together, rumored to be together from 2009 to 2016. That's 7 years. That's a long time. You're rumored to be together for a year. Maybe, maybe not. 7 years. It's a big thing. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky started dating in 2020, and they now have 3 children. Didn't A$AP Rocky cheat on her? Or was it the other rapper who's married to some hot chick that he... I just remember getting mad at every male rapper for cheating. Oh, who's Cardi B's guy? Was it a Cardi B? Her husband, I think, or a partner, whatever they're calling it these days. Can I tell you something? I'm a little annoyed at... This might not be necessary, and we'll get to the end of this goddamn A$AP Rocky story, I promise you. I'm a little annoyed at the straight people that call their spouse partner. Can't we let the gays have anything? Like, I feel like the gays had the partner thing. I think it was bestowed upon them. I don't know if they like it or not, but it felt like it was kind of like they just owned it after a while. They were like, it's our thing, not yours. Am I saying that the gays are trying to give N-word treatment to partner? Kind of. You know, it was a negative at first, and now only they can say it. That's what I'd like to see for partner. Because I'm not sure I care for straight people going, oh, this is my partner. Why don't you just call her your wife or your husband? I'll take spouse. Spouse I'll allow. Partner, can we let that be to the alternative lifestyle people? Can we give them anything without just taking their shit? You know, straight people. I just can't. They get on my nerves. They really, we can't just let everybody else have a little something. We got to fucking take it too. And then they got to turn around and go, well, we're supporting them. Well, maybe they don't want your stupid support. Okay? Your corny, cheesy support. Maybe they want to have their own thing without you creeping into their territory. Am I wrong here? Am I wrong? Can we let the gays have partner and let them, that'll be their little thing. That'll be their little fun, that'll be their angle. We don't have to take all their shit. Fucking straight people, man. They're on my last nerve. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're on my last nerve. Maddie, I gotta be honest with you, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're upset with A$AP Rocky, if you're still back on the EV conversation, or if you're in on my partner thing. I don't even know. All right, now this is a good question here. See, thank God I got Lindsay here around. She's keeping us all in focus. What about if you're a domestic partner thing? I call mine my loved one now because I feel like I have to explain. So let me get this right, Lindy. Domestic partner is you live together long enough to be considered married, but you're not actually married, right? That's domestic partner. I'm going to allow it. The domestic makes it different. That's kind of your situation. Fucking bird. I call mine cuck. That's just fucking bird. That's like a beautiful assassination. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's not like you didn't shoot somebody with a gun. You injected somebody with the kill poison, like the guy from V for Vendetta. Remember that scene where he's like, I killed you 10 minutes ago? That's what you just did to everybody with I call mine cuck. Well done. Nominated, and I'm tempted to just give you the award right now because I don't know if anybody's beaten that one. Lindy says, no, we signed papers. Oh, it's a common law marriage after 7 years. So domestic partners. So, all right, you signed papers. Lindy, all right, now help me out here. Easier than divorce, 12 years with the cock. No, help me out here. What's the difference between, because it sounds like what you're describing is marriage, because I signed papers too. Did you not pay for a ridiculously expensive ceremony and invite family members that you don't really like? Is that what you're saying? You saying you didn't have a wedding? Is that the difference? Does wedding qualify for marriage and non-wedding qualify for domestic partners? Or is it just the fact that you didn't get married in any sort of religious thing? Because once again, me too. I didn't get married in a religious building. Let me answer the most important question, Lindy. At your wedding or to celebrate your marriage or domestic partnership, did you have a martini afterwards? Or was it some other alcoholic beverage? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm going to be honest with you, Lindy. What's the difference between why do you feel great about a domestic partnership versus a marriage? Can anybody else look this up? Like, what's the technical difference here? Let me see here. We have a house and I get his insurance and we both have a bad taste from marriage. Gotcha. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, so you had a divorce or a bad experience with the marriage thing. Then you find the love of your life. You call him your loved one, domestic partnership. You don't want to jinx it with the M word. I could see that. I got you there. I'm down with that. That makes a lot of sense. I believe in the jinx. I believe, as a gambling person, as a gambleaholic, I believe in the jinx. I'm not going to doubt the jinx. I believe in jinxes, juju. I believe in all of it. I get you. You want a marriage without using the M word, so it's not okay. I think there's a taxation difference, says Uncle B. Well, you're going to have to let me know what that is, because if I can save a couple points on my tax, I'll domestic partner my wife right now. I'll domestic partner that son of a bitch in 2 seconds. Because I don't need the M word either. Especially if I could save a little dough from the old, especially if I could hide a little more from Uncle Sam, you know. It's the legal framework for California. Okay. Okay. But you have a house and you get his insurance. Let me ask you a question. Do you just spend his money on whatever you want without having to consult with him? And also, do you have children together and do they just spend your money without having to consult with you? Does he, Lindy, does he look at his bank account and go, why I make a lot of money, why don't I still have any of it? And then he looks at his 2 kids and his wife and go, oh, that's why. I'm asking for a friend, not anybody in particular. Me. Talking about me. I'm with Will on this one. Nothing's worse than a motherfucker with bad juju. Oh, my God. Oh, I hate a bad juju motherfucker. Oh, the worst. I can't gamble around a bad juju person. You can't. You can't have that in your shit. There's nothing worse than that, Will. I'm going to agree with you. But I'll tell you what's also a little irritating. I have a friend who just wins all the time. Do you have that friend too who just wins all the time? I went to Atlantic City with this guy. Every time I was there with him, he was just winning. He would just win every time. I was happy for him, but I was like, Jesus, like, can't this rub off on one of the other guys? There's 7 guys here. This one guy wins all the time. I saw this guy. We were walking around the casino one night, and there's literally, you cannot find a seat at a table. And then there was like 3-card hold'em, poker, blackjack, or something. It's a weird amalgamation game, combination game thing. It's crazy. He's like, I'm going to sit down. I'm like, do you even know how to play this? He's like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. The rules are on the felt. He fucking hit for like $3,500 in like 12 minutes. Like, I'm like, you don't even know how to play. You don't even know the rules of this game. This guy is fucking cleaning up. Every time I went to Atlantic City with this son of a bitch, he won. He just won. That's me. I'm just a born winner. Good for you, Will. Good for you. Because I'll tell you what I'm going to do with you, Will, that I didn't do with my other friend. The mistake I made, I realized this after we got too old and we didn't have enough money to go to Atlantic City. I'm not going to gamble anymore, Will. If you're the born winner, I'm going to give you my money and I'm going to go partners. I'm going to go halvesies with you. You don't have to gamble all your money. You gamble 50%. I'll give you the other 50 points. And we'll win it together. That's my plan. unless you think I'm the dude with the bad juju and you don't want my cursed money on your money, in which I understand. Because if I was you and I was winning, I'd be like, no, you bad juju son of a bitch. I don't want your shit on my shit. I don't want you even, I can't bet your money. It'll kill my born winner essence, which I understand, you know. Oh, hold on. This is breaking news. Robert says a domestic partnership is a legal relationship for two committed, unmarried adults who share a domestic life, granting them similar rights, benefits like hospital visitation, insurance, property rights, etc. And then he drops this little bomb. By the way, Lindy is my loved one. So that's amazing. So we have domestic partners listening, which is brilliant. Because I know a lot of you out there are listening, but your significant others are not. So I'm going to go ahead and give 10 points to both Lindy and Robert for being here together. Thanks for increasing the listener numbers. Our algorithm needs all the help it can get. Mr. Lindy says Miss Justice. And I'm going to nominate that for another comment of the episode. That's brilliant. That's really, really good. Mr. Lindy. You have to change your name, Robert, to Mr. Lindy, because that's how you're going to be known to us. I appreciate you being here, but we're a Lindy. The AOAers are a Lindy first group. We've been Lindy all along. You can't expect us to. You're welcome here. You're just going to be labeled as Mr. Lindy because we're Team Lindy. You know. I don't know if this is like most marriages where everybody picks a side. But if you can pick sides in domestic partnerships, we're picking Lindy's side at the moment. My significant. I'm not even going to read this. I'm just going to leave it for the people that are watching, and the people that are listening are going to lose out. Let me tell you the surprising thing about this, Bird. I didn't know you were left-handed. Did not know you were left-handed until right now. That's pretty amazing. All right. All right. I'm just gonna put all the funny comments on the damn screen here because you guys are killing it right now. Yeah. See. Okay. Thank you, Lead Balloon, for also being surprised. Why are we surprised that Bird is left-handed? I mean, it's not a crazy thing to be, but we're all sitting here like, I didn't know. Hold on a second. I'm right-handed. But you're saying, is that your go-to? Because that's crazy. Then I'm going to label you ambidextrous. That's an ambidextrous move right there. You know, that's crazy. I don't even know what you're talking about. That's crazy. Christella really liked that Bird. Yeah, that comment was funny. That comment was hysterical. My right hand is busy. Merc just volunteering. I use both. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. I don't know if it's the Friday night thing, if it's because we're doing martinis on a Friday, having a classy time, but we've elevated the conversation. We have elevated the conversation. I can't believe I got this far in the martini. Oh, I'm starting to get a little bit of the blue cheese. This is, you know what? I don't know why I was so down on martinis to begin with. This is lovely. I'm having an awesome time. I hope you guys are too. A lot of booze in martinis, I think. This is like a lot of booze. I am not a gin guy, but maybe I am. Maybe I'm a gin martini guy. I'll tell you what I love about the martini. And my uncle is a martini drinker. This is a drink that requires one of the ingredients to be put in the glass and then immediately removed. I don't know a lot of other drinks that do that. Like, that's crazy. And my uncle's a really cool guy. Like, I love my uncle. He is super cool. And when I go out with him and he orders a martini, and by the way, he orders a particular brand of gin. I'm not going to say what it is. I'm not here to out anybody. I don't want to dox my uncle. The brand of gin that he loves is between him and his alcoholic liver. It's not for me to, or anybody else to judge. But he orders gin by brand, classy. And he goes, vermouth in and out. Meaning he wants the bartender to put a little vermouth in, swirl it around the glass, and pour it out. Why is that so classy? Why is that so classy? I don't know. You just see that and you go, well, that's really cool. You want a little bit of the alcohol and you want to waste a lot of it. That makes it cooler. I don't know why. Don't know why that happens. You know? Christella never had a martini. Thank you, Christella. I will say this is the first time I've actually, granted, I'm at my home studio. I'm home. But this is the first time I've ever ordered a martini. I've had little sips of martini. I've never ordered a martini. This is the first time I'm consuming a full martini. I'm kind of liking it. I think the glasses are absurd. The glass is absurd. But the server who brought it to me was really cute. So there's that. We got that going for us, which is nice. Anyway, when you order it with vermouth in and out, like that's fucking classy as fuck. And I'll tell you what else is cool about a martini. You determine the layer of dirty you want. How is that not cool as hell? That's cool. Extra dirty, really dirty. How dirty is your martini? Like, these are cool things. Like, I drink old fashions. You can't be like, can I have a dirty old fashioned? Like, what seems like a more uncomfortable old man thing to do? Dirty old fashioned. Old fashioned sucks as far as cool department. Delicious. I love it, but sucks. Martini. I might be a martini guy. Martini Tony is what you might have to start calling me from now on. That's what we might have to start doing. Cuddles bought roofies from me last week. If you feel sleepy, I'm starting to feel a little loopy. I'm not going to lie to you. Starting to feel a little loopy. Mercury. I don't like it too dirty. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how dirty I like it. I feel like this is almost green. This is almost Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze green. I feel like that's a little too dirty for a martini. But I'm going to tell you how excited I am about Ninja Turtles 2 references. I'm going to call Frank tomorrow morning. I'm going to be like, you have to listen 52 minutes in because I hit a fucking Ninja Turtle 2 Secret of the Ooze reference. That was amazing. That was amazing. We are cocks to ants. Bird had an amazing line. I feel like I've watched a baseball game and I just watched the third grand slam. And I'm just looking at everybody else in the stadium going, how could there be this many grand slams? That's the third great line. We've got 3 lines nominated for comment of the episode. I call mine Aunt, where Cox to Aunt's Martini. And oh shit, where was Miss Justice's? Oh, Miss Justice, I lost yours. I didn't put the mark on it for comment of the episode. And now, fuck. Miss Justice, do you remember what it was? Because you can comment it now and I'll hit the thing on it. Apple teenies are good. Are they? Oh, look at this. Would prefer an apple teeny. I guess so. I think I've taken a sip of an apple teeny and it's pretty good. I think I remember that. But you don't put olives in an apple teeny, do you? Mr. Lindy. Thank you. Okay. Boom. Now I got it. And Mr. Lindy is nominated officially. Okay, good. Good. Don't forget. I think didn't I have Bird's comment? Oh, yeah. Her hand. So Bird's got 2 good comments. I mean, I used both was pretty good for Burke. I'm going to put that in. That made me chuckle too. That was good. All right, my significant other. All right, we got it in there. Okay, we got 5 comments nominated for comment of the episode. Yeah, you can't put an olive in a apple teeny, right? Apple teenies remind me of, what was it? The breakup, the split. I think the breakup. Jennifer Aniston and Vince Vaughn, when they break up, but they're still living in the apartment because the apartment is too valuable to give up. So she decides to go on a date to try and win him back. And the guy shows up and he bonds with the guy. And then he goes, 2 apple martinis, 3, and she gets sloppy. You want to keep her to 2? That I don't know why. Whenever somebody says Appletini, I think of that moment in that movie, which is pretty good. Great Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau movie. Not the best, but pretty great. Pretty great. Anyway, as I was saying about A$AP Rocky versus Drake. So there's a history there. Maybe Rihanna and Drake dated. Rihanna and A$AP Rocky have been together since 2020. They have 3 children together. What I'm curious about is why they've been together since 2020. Why are you waiting until 2026 to be like, oh, Drake sucks? Like, what just happened amidst their conversations that made him be like, fuck that guy, I'm going to put out a rap record to insult him? That's what I want to know. What took 6 years to come to fruition? That's what I really want to know. Okay, this is maybe an all-time comment from Miss Justice. Anthony, did you get my message about the walrus dick stolen? No, I didn't. I didn't get that message. I tell you, let me be honest. Facebook, all my inbox is so bombarded by crazy people that I don't really get to look at a lot of those. I don't look at those messages that often. I'll peek every now and then. But I would love to know about the stolen walrus dick. I mean, I think we all would at this point. There's a lot of laughter, comments coming. Yeah. I think we all need to know about that. Give us a summary, Miss Justice, and I'll read it out loud in the comments. Would be great. Anyway, A$AP Rocky and Drake. Do you guys want to hear the lyrics? The lyrics are a little crazy. Okay, here's the lyrics. This is Anthony's reading of A$AP Rocky lyrics dissing Drake. First, you stole my flow, so I stole your bitch. Fashion killer. Oh, sorry. I can't trust a soul, just my pole and my kids. It's weird. Swear to never lie, cross my heart, hope to die. Then I said the switch and I hit it with a kiss. And then later on the song, he says, now I'm a father, my bitch badder than my toddler, my baby mama Rihanna, so we unbothered. That dude is what the kids say, what the kids call spitting. That dude is spitting. It's pretty good lyrics. Pretty good lyrics. And I thought I read it really well. That's why I'm the number one authority on hip hop. I know I may not look it, but I read rap lyrics better than some rappers rap them. Some people have told me. I'm going to pull a Trump here and go. Some people are saying I can read rap lyrics better than the actual artist who wrote them rap them. I'm just saying. So anyway, I don't know what A$AP Rocky has Rihanna, has 3 kids with her, and he's still pissed that maybe she hooked up with Drake. I bet you that's what's fueling most of this, is that he just doesn't know and he's afraid to ask Rihanna. And I bet you every now and then when he does something that really pisses off Rihanna, she probably brings up and references Drake a little bit. And that pisses him off to no end. That would be my guess. That would be my guess. That's A$AP Rocky versus Drake. Thank you very much for your attention to this matter. J-Law versus Margot Robbie. Jennifer Lawrence was on a podcast. One of a million, I don't know. Enough with the podcast already, am I right? Ignore the microphone. J-Lo was on a podcast and she was saying how she lost out on Margot Robbie's role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because I guess she was rumored to be there, and then a bunch of people started reacting that she's not pretty enough to play that part because it was based on Sharon Tate. So they were all like, oh, Jennifer Lawrence isn't pretty enough to play Sharon Tate. And she's claiming that got to Quentin Tarantino and he pulled the offer and then gave it to Margot Robbie. And she said that's true. You think that's true? I have a hard time I don't know. I thought Margot Robbie was really good in that role and was really good for that role. And by the way, I think Jennifer Lawrence is gorgeous. I would pick her over Margot Robbie any day of the week. I just think Jennifer Lawrence has a natural beauty to her. Again, it's not science. It's just weird attraction. I just think she's more beautiful than Margot Robbie, and Margot Robbie's gorgeous too. But do you think that the public opinion swayed Quentin Tarantino's thought on who would play that role? Maybe, but I don't know. I have a hard time thinking of it. Now, it says something, I mean, basically from the way Jennifer Lawrence is talking about this, she's kind of saying he came to me first. You know, he like, she kind of made it seem like the part was hers if she wanted it, but eventually it got taken away from her and given to Margot Robbie. You know, Merck agrees that Margot is a better choice. Margot, I mean, it's not about beautiful. I mean, people are like not pretty enough. You know, and you don't want like a dead ringer lookalike. You want somebody to kind of get the essence of Sharon Tate for the role. But I mean, Margot Robbie crushed it. It's hard to think. Like, I think Jennifer Lawrence is amazing. She's gorgeous. She's talented. I loved her in a lot of movies. I don't know if she could have done better than Margot Robbie on that. Clearly, she's sour about it because she's talking about it on a podcast. You know? Look, Uncle B disagrees. See? Different strokes, different folks. You can have J-Law. I'll take Margot. Good. Uncle B, you and we can go together to try and find out. You know what I'm saying? If there's somebody says, hey, there's a room with Jennifer Lawrence and Margot Robbie, who do you want to bring with you? I'm going to take Uncle B because I barely have a chance at Jennifer Lawrence to begin with. I can't compete with another guy. Then I'll really have no chance. You know? Why are you bringing Sydney Sweeney into this flying? Why are we bringing Sydney? We're not talking about Sydney Sweeney. Although I will tell you this, I feel bad because one of the stories we did to the end of 2024 was how Sydney Sweeney came out with 3 bombs in a row. And maybe she's not a box office draw. But now one of the biggest movies of the year so far is her and Amanda Seyfried in like a movie based off of a book. It's like a huge franchise, I guess. So clearly she's not box office. You know, she's not a box office curse because she's got a monster hit right now. But it's kind of weird that all happened. So I kind of feel bad about that. I put that out there in the universe that that Sydney Sweeney is like box office bad juju. Juju, by the way, made famous in a movie starring Jennifer Lawrence. That all comes together. Double date, I'm in. Me too, Uncle B. You let me know when to show up because I don't think I can get that conversation started. You let me know when you find the representatives for Jennifer Lawrence. But Jennifer, it's funny. Oh, so the other part of it too is that Jennifer Lawrence said, she turned down a role in another Quentin Tarantino movie. Maybe it was The Hateful Eight. I forget what she said it was. But she was like, that may be also part of it. Like maybe that was part of it. Maybe he was pissed that you turned down his other movie, you know. That's got to be devastating for like a director or a writer. Like when you write something with somebody in mind and then you can't get them or they turn it down, you know, or like they turn it down and then years later they're like, oh, I would have done the other thing that you wrote. Like that's got to be a little tough. Second to last thing I got, because we got to do one of the other sort of topics and such tonight. The Ice Minneapolis pizza thing. We got to talk about this for a second, you know, because I worry that the left is getting out of control, you know, and then there's days like today. I worry that the left is getting out of control because everything this administration does, they just hate. And then you see like Renee Good die, and you're like, oh, fuck. Like maybe if they didn't overreact to things so much, she would be alive. You could also say maybe if the right and this administration weren't such huge dicks, maybe she'd still be alive. So it's both valid. It's both valid. And then I think to myself, like, oh my God, all the left does is complain and complain and complain. And you're like, enough complaining. But then you have a day like today where you see a video like what I'm about to show you. And you're like, maybe they're not complaining that much. You know, maybe it's not, maybe their complaints are valid. This story weirds me out because, no, I don't like how this looks. That wasn't what I thought it was going to look like. Let's just go with this. Let me take this off the screen. The story that we're going to talk about really, really weirds me out because, and I'll play the CNN piece for you, but essentially what happens here is this ICE agent in Minnesota goes into this Minneapolis police pizza place, or he tries to, and then protesters start getting on him, and he leaves when he realizes he can't get in. They won't let him in. But he leaves when another ICE agent comes over and like grabs him and like kind of guides him out. And then we hear from the pizza shop owners, and they're like, I don't know why he was here. And then we go to find out that this particular pizza place has been running a GoFundMe for people that are affected by ICE's presence in Minnesota and Minneapolis. And they raised over $100,000. So they've gotten like a lot of attention for it. And what bothers me so much is the ICE agent goes there, like tries to get in, like is clearly going there to get somebody. And then when his buddy comes along and grabs him and pulls him back, he just leaves. And then before he leaves, he throws like a tear gas can and then like gets in the car. And I watch that and I go, I mean, this is a national embarrassment for the United States of America. And I know the right is going to look at me and go, this guy is Trump derangement syndrome. What a left-wing pussy. And the left is going to go, where the fuck have you been, Ant? This was a national embarrassment tragedy months ago. I get it. This to me is almost like a tipping point, because we're not talking about taking potential criminals off the streets. You know, we're not talking about immigration issues. There's no gray area. There's no 50% of the population thinks this and 50% of the population thinks that. Like, who amongst us is going to back? And again, listen, it's bad enough. Like I've said this before. ICE getting criminals out of our country, I don't have a problem with that. I don't like their methods all the time, but I don't have a problem with it. ICE getting illegal immigrants out of our country who are just hardworking people who are just trying to make a living, who are working in kitchens, you know, working in whatever, just trying to keep their head down. Maybe they came here illegally when they were older. Maybe they came here illegally when they were children. They had no choice, you know, like whatever. Like going after those people, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. We want a safer society. We don't want to be kicking innocent people, innocent, hardworking people out. You know, nobody wants that. I don't think. I would say a majority of people don't want that. But you're talking about, and I mean, how could you come to any other conclusion? An ICE agent who heard that a business was supporting people affected by his work in an area and thought he was going to go there and do what? Cause issues, cause harm to this business? Like, that's not American. And the fact that, and I'm going to play the clip for you. The fact that his partner, his other buddy, ICE agent, came over and so easily got him away from it. Like, I don't know who this ICE agent is, but he should be immediately taken off the streets. immediately taking out of Minnesota, which is already it's already the level there is already up to 11. R.I.P. Rob Reiner. You don't need bad apples in there trying to and then just the way he threw the canister afterwards, like you can tell this man is angry. This man has some problems. This agent feels to me like the epitome of what the left thinks every one of these agents are. And I think there's good agents in there. I think there's good people in there doing good, honest police work, trying to take evil people off the streets. You know, I think there are. But this guy ain't one of those guys. Just ain't one of those guys. Check this out. Here's the ICE agent. He's trying to get in, and here's his buddy.
Descended on a pizza restaurant and demanded entry.
Who takes it? Look how he just goes, "Come on, let's get back in the car."
Border Patrol.
Let's get back in the car. And there's all the protesters, and they're screaming at him. Like there he is. He gets out. He runs.
As one agent rushes to the front door, another appears to step in to stop the first officer from entering. The officers return to their vehicle,
and that's the same guy who just casually throws a tear gas and then they get in the car and they take off.
The restaurant owners say the agents did not have a warrant when they demanded entry. They don't know why the restaurant was targeted, but just a few days prior, they announced a fundraiser to help people affected by the ongoing federal operations in the area.
We probably put a target on ourselves with that by helping people, which is sickening.
The restaurant has raised more than $100,000 so far.
We defended this community. They don't belong here. They're not this community. They're not what we believe in. We support and love each other, and you can see from that video exactly what happens when they try to us.
I mean, it's crazy. Like some of I've seen ICE videos that have been just out of control, and you want to say bad apples and everything like that. And I get it. But this guy, and what bothers me so much about the right versus left argument all the time is that I hope there's somebody in the Department of Homeland Security, in the ICE agency or whatever, who can pick up a phone and go, "Hey, you got to get rid of that guy. That guy is angry and is only going to cause more problems than any possible scenario of good he can produce." Because that's the problem with these arguments. Everybody digs in and they don't want to relent, and they can't see through what clearly needs to be done and seen, which is you can't be doing this. You can't just what was he going to do if he got in there? Arrest the owners? Arrest the kitchen staff? Was he going to trash the place? Was he going to throw a tear gas and just walk out and leave because his feelings were hurt that they're raising money for people that are affected by this? That's crazy. And I listen, there's been other crazier things, and people will probably scream at their screens and be like, the Renee Good thing was crazy. Okay, fine. That's crazy. I'll give it to you. This is on a whole new, different level of disturbed crazy. I mean, I can't even. It's insane. It's insane. He wasn't even what did he do? Did he scream at the driver to stop? Did he see it and go, pull over and get out and just that's not what any member of any sort of law enforcement should ever have as a reaction or a feeling. Nobody was hurt, but that doesn't mean that this is not indicative of a bigger thing of we got to look out for this. This is fucking crazy. It's crazy. If this is the level that ICE is at, this is out of control, and I don't understand anybody who can't understand that or agree with that. This is a business that feels a certain way. We live in a country with freedom of speech. If they want to raise money or have a stance for something, that's fine. They should not be subject to any sort of law enforcement threatening their well-being without any provocation. That's crazy. And I know you may be looking at it going like, man, nobody was hurt. It didn't make national headlines. Why are you making it? Like, thank God. Like, this is nuts. That's nuts. That is nuts. That is nuts. Again, this is the person who has said, who was given ICE credit for taking bad people off the streets. We read the records the other day. Murderers, rape, everything, every bad thing you could possibly think of. They're rounding those people up and they're taking them off our streets. I can at least recognize some good in this. Give them credit. Give them some credit. And I'm saying this is insane. Like, this tarnishes any little bit of credibility that you have. You know? And for the love of God, remember to like and share and subscribe, damn it. Listen to Miss Justice. How could you not listen to Miss Justice? Her name is Miss Justice. What, do you not like justice? Hit the bell, damn it. Don't ignore Miss Justice. You won't like what will happen to you. You won't like it, I'm telling you. I talk to my kids the same way. I'm like, you're not going to like what happens to you if you do that. You're not going to like it. All right, last thing, and this is unnecessary. If you thought that was unnecessary, this is completely fucking unnecessary. These AI videos are out of control. Some douchebag, I think his name is Brandon, posted something on Twitter. I'm going to pop it up on the screen for you. And he says, like, worst nightmare scenario. And I'm like, and I know it's AI, but I watched the video and it's still the worst case scenario. This is a nightmare. Here's a AI video. This isn't the stuff of nightmares, Brandon says. This isn't real. This isn't real. It's AI. I know it's AI. I'm telling you now, this is AI. But I still watch this. And I go, oh, this is my worst nightmare. This is what I dream about. I have had, it didn't look like this. It didn't look exactly like this, but I've had this dream that I have flown off of a water slide before. Now, I want you to watch this and tell me that as irrational as this is, and you know it's fake and it's AI, it's still not scary, and you're still not afraid that it's going to happen to you. This person going down the slide, they hit like these bumps and they fly up, and then look, watch what happens. They hit a thing and they can't, oh, maybe they can get on the other part of the slide. And, oh no, you cannot, and oh, you're dead. You're dead. Watch it again. Dead. And it's that, oh, I can save myself. Oh, can I grab onto the other slide and save myself? And then go, oh, no, dead. Oh my God. This is when I saw this, I almost I was sitting in a chair. I was sitting in a chair on the computer watching it. I almost got up and went into the corner to crouch and cry because there was something so real about it. I know it's fake, but immediately I was like, oh my God, I've had these dreams. I've had this dream. It didn't look like this. It did not look like this, but I've had this dream where I'm going down a water slide. It comes up. I'm like, oh, this is really high. And then I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. And the next time I'm like, oh my God, I'm falling to my death. Yeah. WTF. Accurate description, Fly and Y. Thank you. Mark my stomach. Ms. Justice. Yes, me too. Why is that? What is so weird? Why is this so weird? And if you look at this has got a trillion gazillion, 14.7 million views. 14.7 million views. Thing has been out for 2 days. This is clearly resonating with people. Clearly. All right. And Miss Justice, you might have just hit it on the head. AI playing on your worst fears. Exactly. What the fuck? What the fuck? Is anybody else a little concerned at how AI could know exactly what our worst fear is and make a video to that effect? I think they're out to get us. And I think they're playing some sort of mind games, psychological warfare on us. They're already starting to penetrate us. You might think I'm paranoid, but I think I'm just enjoying my first ever martini. This martini, this episode, and you have been a delight. It has been all quite wonderful, but unfortunately, it is our time to go. My apologies for the C's not being here. Both Frankie and Aaron wanted to be. They did have a game planned. We didn't get to play it, which is always a lot of fun. We will get to play it next week on the show. Make sure you come back if you're new here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do the live show on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You could watch replays on Spotify or listen on Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts as well. The ones who started it all, after all. We appreciate everybody for listening. Of course, if you want to take it a step further, you can join our members only area for as low as $2.99. Nice and cheap. You'll see some extra content you won't see anywhere else or on the show itself. And of course, if you don't want to spend $2.99, you can still join our Discord, which is a lot of fun, which our conversation continues on the Discord even after the podcast is over, which is why I love it so much. Link for everything in the description below.
Show me potato salad.
You guys have an amazing weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Maybe we should go now.
Go ahead.